at this stage.
And also, I think it was after the third game that Amorim managed. There was already people saying, "Nah, he's crap. He's got to go." And I remember we were all here, and we were like, "What are your expectations for this man? Like, what is this man supposed to do coming in mid-season to a team that is statistically United's worst ever team, mind you, with players that nobody likes, mind you? What do you want him to do?" Everybody said, well, we need to just start playing better football. We need to see a clear way of how we are playing, and we need to start climbing the table. Well, we failed to do one of those things. We failed to climb the table.
Oh no, we have, because we were 15th when my man came in. So we have.
But that doesn't take much doing. That literally takes no doing.
Hang on. Oh, why do you square it? It's 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0 Arsenal. Minute in, Kai Havertz wins the ball high. Martin Odegaard, they all wanted him dropped. He scored. I love football. A really bad mistake from Akanji. 1-0, 2 minutes in to Arsenal. On your expectation point, I was going to say on this, right? This is what's really interesting. We all get things wrong. I thought we'd be, with a better coach and with a system and being better coached, which I think the players are being coached better, I thought we'd be playing better and at a slightly more consistent level earlier on. I'm wrong about that. However, the element that I am absolutely right about, which I think Man United, and what I'm saying is that a lot of United fans knew this, and I think we need to keep our heads about this and not forget, is that what we were saying towards the end of Ten Hag is, I know the manager's got to go, but we cannot keep letting this squad get away with it. We say that at the end of every manager. We get a new manager, and so quickly we want to turn into, got to get rid of this guy, he's not good enough, and we're letting the players off again. The other element, which is key, is people like myself, KJ, Dizzy, Sunshine, have said for ages, anyone who thought just sacking Ten Hag would fix us is a moron. And this is the thing. You're now going to go online and you're going to seek out those buffoons, those toaster people that told you sacking Ten Hag would fix us, who have told you that dropping Rashford would fix us. And you're now going to start listening to them saying, this manager's a fraud, we've got to sack him as well. It's crazy. Nobody's ever going to be right about everything. It's impossible. But please don't be drawn in and listen to the people that have been 100% wrong about the problems at Man United and the resolutions for it for the past fucking 11 years. You cannot be listening to these absolute stupid nincompoops because they're wrong every step of the way. And they're going to they're slow hanging fruit. Do you know what? It's just a lot easier to go shit tactics, better manager. It's very easy to say that. You don't even need football knowledge to say that. And then when anyone says, well, give it time, the response is just standards. I got standards. It's not an argument. It's a scapegoat. It's not a conversation. It's just sack manager. He's bad. We need better coach. If you challenge it, the response is standards. I guarantee you that's all they're going to say. Go in the spaces, go challenge the TikTokers. I know their argument already because they've done it 5 managers running. We have to break the cycle to fix the club. Sunshine, what did you make of today, my friend?
Underwhelming. First and foremost, I'd say congratulations to Palace. Palace are in a very, very, very good run of form at the moment in terms of just their confidence, how they're playing football. Yeah, it's not pretty, but when you come to Old Trafford, as we know, most teams usually have the confidence to actually go toe-to-toe with United at Old Trafford. That's a key thing I think that's been missed. Palace actually set up with a level of respect, not fear, but level of respect for United, which shows that what Amorim's been doing, there is potential danger in what he's trying to do with this current crop of players. But I'll be honest, I sound like a broken record. I think only this season I'm now seeing people reiterate exactly what I was saying last season and the season before, that these players cannot apply themselves. That tactics and formations is absolutely irrelevant. If you create chances, no matter how you create them, put the ball in the back of the net, and that will solidify whether your system works or not. The reality is that didn't happen today.
Nearly 2-0 to another goal, just given offside.
Do you think?
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So, I think people slowly realizing that these players can't apply their talents 24/7, and because they've got a rut and they've got a consistency of dropping their mentality under pressure, whenever there's a level of pressure, we struggle. On the plus side, I do massively disagree with Mo. I think anyone that actually watches Kobe Mainu and has had the privilege to watch him throughout his career, would tell you that his technical ability will allow him to play in the 10, and I think he's shown why he can do that. Just the last game alone tells you that in terms of his movement, his IQ, his touches in and around tight areas. It's an option that Amorim's exploring, and I agree that he has to try these things because, like you guys said, rightly so, I do agree with you. As soon as the 10s went wide, we lacked a bit of creativity and killer instinct in the final third. And I don't know how long I've been saying it, Terry. I mean, you put a timestamp on it, but I've been saying for about 4 years, we need clinical finishers, clinical ballers in the final third. And you know, I was told I was wrong. I was told I was chatting a load of crap. I was told that no, change the system, the formation will work. And I'll be honest, common sense is just common sense. Like, if your worst stat is putting the ball in the back of the net, but yet defensively you're okay, it should tell you that maybe you just might need to get a couple of ballers who can put the ball in the back of the net and build that confidence. Because let's be honest, look at Liverpool. Liverpool started this season, they weren't playing great football, if you're being honest, but they managed to get results because even though they were struggling defensively, they were bagging goals, getting their results. And that in turn has produced a level of confidence for their team. So look, the Amorim stuff, I think it's just a load of rubbish. I'm going to give him the same grace as I did Ten Hag. 4 years at a club. You man laugh. Now you're not. Now you're seeing what's going on. 4 years for a project is not an issue when you understand, and I mean that, but I mean that word boldly, understand what's necessary to rebuild a club. There are no profiles. I said the same for Ten Hag. There are no profiles that fit the ideology of the way he wants to play football. Therefore, inconsistency is bound to happen. He even told you that in the press conference. Maybe Ten Hag should have said that when he first came and he got a bit too naive, which I called out.
Is that regardless of where you are on the table, Sunshine?
Say that again, sorry?
Is that regardless of how you play and where you are on the table this season, next season? Regardless.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wanted to make sure.
Absolutely. So
next season finishes 8th or 9th, it's all right. He finishes this season bottom half of the table, that's okay.
Well, in context, yes, it is okay. It is normal.
Okay.
I expect it. That's me personally, and I'll continue to say that, Mo, because like I said, 3 to 4 seasons will give you enough of consistency to be able to at least get your first 11 while all of them played and maybe 2 or 3 substitutions. We've got to undo all the rubbish, and then you forget as well, Mo, that with our ownership just being taken over, before that, we had a situation where we are now ultimately, how can I say, we're suffering the consequences for the decisions 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago financially. That's why we're doing silly loan deals. That's why we're having to get rid of our players. So it makes it harder every time to then upscale and go get better players. And when we did spend stupid money, Mo, on 85 million on Maguire outright, or 80 million outright, 5 million add-ons, or 72 million or 75 million on Rasmus, who's a second-star striker, when you do these things, you can then no longer sell them for profit. So therefore, you're even further behind. And people don't understand that the biomechanics of football and business. Like Manchester United need a minimum of 4 seasons. Any manager. I've said, you've heard me say it multiple times. Bring Pep Guardiola in here, and I guarantee you, if he's the best manager in the world, I guarantee you, you won't get half of the stuff that you get out of Pep Guardiola with this team. Therefore, that should tell you the manager is not the issue. He can make mistakes, no problem.
Sunshine, you are spot on, and the one thing is this: we have never at any point, and we've tried doing this before the club, they've told us we have, and I think we look at Ten Hag. We got a very good coach at the time. He comes in. And the one criticism we had pretty early on is, well, he's not really changing the way we play. It's very Ollie-esque as an example. Maybe a little bit better for a 6-month period. We won a trophy. And then I think people like you and I, we all sort of, our heads kind of dropped when he sort of said, I will never play that brand of football that you saw at Ajax here. It's just not going to happen. That for me is a problem. And it doesn't, for me, I'm not fixated on a particular brand of football, a particular style. We need to play a certain way and build a squad and a club that has those profiles, so that, you know, for a long-term view. And we just never done that. We get 18 months, 2 years in, nothing's working. We change and go in another direction, and we've ended up in this scenario. And Man United fans and our rivals, because they just want to ignore that, and they want to talk about low-hanging fruit every single week. Now, obviously, we're in the game, and there's individuals we've called out already on that, because I've got the other game to get to in a minute. Super chats here. First one says, this coach is not good enough. Terry, you are just deluded with Amorim. He's not coaching the players properly. He is confusing them.
Okay, so why, how does that mean he's not good enough? How, a guy's come in within 2 months in the job. He's trying to instill a system that even before we all hired him, we said, you know what, his system don't suit the team, but we need to give it time, give him a chance to clear out the players because these players are crap, and buy some new ones. So we've done that at the start, but now because the system's not working, like we said, because we haven't got the profiles that he needs, like we said, and he hasn't had a full transfer window, he hasn't had a summer transfer window to bring in more players and sell players, he's not good enough. It don't make no damn sense. Because what? Was we calling for Rude? Rude and the store came in. And he's playing the way that suits the players. We won some games, but as soon as it came to bringing it, like keeping him on long term, everyone said no.
Look, yeah,
Everyone
no,
said no.
it's of course. And look, you're entitled, my friend, to think that Amorim isn't good enough. What I would love to hear from you is, let's get rid of him then. Who should we go for? How much of this do you think is on the players? And how long do you think it's going to take any coach to get the squad good enough to be able to, because you got to remember, this isn't about making us better in the short term. This isn't about making us a more competitive team. This is about trying to make us into a team that can win Premier League over the next 3 to 4 years. What direction would you go in from here, my friend? Mo speaking facts, it's not the manager or the tactics, it's the player's mentality. Good luck against Milan today. Obviously, that's to you, Mo.
I appreciate.
Adding Mo to come make you feel worse, diabolical.
Mo hasn't actually crapped in us like a four.
Well, that's because Mo understands the problems at Manchester United. By the way, just some breaking news that's come out in the last 20 minutes. Big reports from Germany that Tell has chosen Man United over Arsenal and wants to join us. The clubs are in advanced negotiations to bring them in.
You see these journalists, them man think we're fools. They know we're hurting, so they're trying to get.
Hang on, I'm going to defend the journalists here, though. The deadline day is tomorrow, so if we're not going to advance it today, when the fuck are we going to advance it?
I'm not saying he can't say it, but man, 5 minutes after the kick,
they know we're online, isn't it? They know we're online.
News.
You know what I mean? It's like Uber, isn't it? You know, when the train lines go down, Uber stick their prices up, don't they? Do you know what I mean? So. Amorim is on a sinking ship trying to scoop water out with a cup of tea. It's a great listen. He's on an oil tanker with a hole in it that's sinking, and they're trying to carry on delivering oil whilst fixing the hole and turning around at the same time. It's very, very hard. That's why, again, you can go listen to YouTubers and TikTokers and Twitter bots who think everything's simple. They're reductionists. If you want to listen to a reductionist because it makes you feel better about your life, go do that. But you just, again, you can call in and be a reductionist on the terrace. It won't stop you. But I'm not going to ignore the root cause problems at this football club and what it takes to fix them. Because not just me, but everyone who's known this has been proven right. It's not about I'm right, you're wrong. It's about what's right for Man United. So again, I've had no suggestions of how to fix the club other than sack the manager, but we've done that 6 times. It's not going to work. It's not going to work this time. So let's try something different. And if it doesn't work, we can address it. But why don't we just try and keep our feet on the ground a little bit here?